So 1 month ago, I had a very original idea, okay? A very, very original idea. To steal Luke TheNotable's 100 days in hardcore Minecraft idea. But, to do it in VR.
But do you think 100 days is too much?
Yes.
Why?
Because I just told you why. You're gonna get migraines, you're gonna f***ing...
How will that 100 days in Minecraft VR? I'll come out like a champion.
No, we both know you won't come out like a champion.
Luke TheNotable is super, super nice. He graciously gave me permission to do this. He's a very lovely man, okay? Very super nice guy. He's currently in the process of doing 1,000 days in hardcore Minecraft. It's a lot of days to survive. You should definitely subscribe to that man. He's good at the game. I, on the other hand, am not good at the game. If you watched any of my other Minecraft videos, you probably know that already. So this went about as well as you would expect from a man like me. Very poorly. It went very, very poorly. It did not end well. It ended in disappointment and depression. Quite a bit of those two. Quite a bit. Hey, while you're here, you know what you should do? I strongly recommend you do this. Trust me, my man. You're gonna want to subscribe, okay? You're definitely gonna want to subscribe to this channel, and you're probably also, you definitely also want to leave a like on this video. It's gonna be super beneficial for us both if you do that. That would be cool. If you do that for a man like me, I would be a very, very happy man. So, my mans, here's me trying to survive 100 days in hardcore VR Minecraft. Ugh, here we go.
Why would you want to do it this way?
What? Boom, boom. Hey, just keep walking here. Here. Yep, just hanging over a river here. Oh!
So I started this bullshit a couple weeks ago. Back then, I was full of hope, and I really thought that this was going to be easy. I mean, just look at me. Look at that guy right there. He had no sense of what was coming. Look at the determination in that man's face. A creeper had not ruined his life yet. Things started out rough. They started out real rough on the first day. I was not only being bullied by the fact that there wasn't any sheep in my area to make a bed, but also by Sonia, who was making fun of me for playing VR.
Why would you want to do it this way?
What? Isn't it better?
How is it better?
Because I feel like I'm finally here. 100 days I'm gonna be in here for. 100 days. Get used to seeing me like this.
There was this giant cavern near where I spawned, which it looked interesting, but I needed to find sheep first before I just started jumping down there and getting myself killed. I found them eventually, but it took nearly an entire day of me walking around, and you know what? I murdered them, of course. They died. I got their wool and I moved on. So I spent my first night in a hole. Get used to this, because there's a lot of me in holes in this video. On the second day, I got to work. I got some stone tools. I went down to that big ass cavern. It was spooky down there, and let me tell you, there was a lot of crap that I could sense was going to kill me. So I didn't want to spend too much time. Just a quick peek and jump out before, you know, I surely died. I explored a bit more, and I found a sunken ship. And not only that, but there was a bunch of dolphins, which I had not seen in Minecraft before. I thought they were very cool, although I almost drowned when I tried to swim with them. So the next day, I returned to that ship, and you know what? I had a plan this time. I thought, if I hold my breath in real life, I could get some sense of when it was time to resurface in-game so I wouldn't drown. I tried to explain that to Sonia, who yet again abused me by calling me dumb. I didn't think it was dumb. I thought it was a pretty good plan. I'm still gonna use it in the future, so I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Anyways, she actually was kind of right. You know, I did do something pretty dumb because I found this leather chest piece right here. Yeah, to a man like me at the time, that looked good. I didn't spend enough time though reading it because it has Curse of Binding. Nice. Yeah, you know what that means? It means I'm a guy who is wearing this chest piece for a while until it breaks. Didn't know that. I just put that on and boom. That surely was an issue later on. A good start so far. After slapping that bad boy onto me, I decided to swim out even further because I now had my breathing technique so I could explore. And within just a few seconds, I was maliciously attacked by these fish and they almost killed me. So I swam back to shore as fast as possible and decided I'm not going in water anymore.
I'm tired.
On day 4, I mined a ton of iron. Well, not really a ton, but enough to make me a full set of gear. But you know what? Remember that chest piece of binding? Didn't matter. Because I couldn't equip the iron chest piece that I made because of this dumb leather one that was now strapped onto my body forever. Or at least until it breaks. Nice.
Oh, shit.
Hey, day 5. I explored and I got lost. I found a spider and I decided I was gonna test out my shield on it and see how good I was at combat. But I couldn't find my way home after killing the spider, so I just dug a hole and slept in that dirty hole instead of the dirty hole I had somewhere else. There's gonna be a lot of dirty holes in this video. Hey, day 6. You know, day 6 scared the living shit out of me. I found my house, but then I decided to go back into that big cavern for more loot because I was hungry and greedy. Things were going well until this man right here snuck up on me and nearly tossed me into the burning lava. Yeah, that would have been great. Day 6 just launched into the lava, but it didn't. I didn't fall in. I was lucky and I managed to kill him. But my victory was short-lived because very quickly an entire herd of zombies came after me. I don't know where they came from or how they got there, but just all of a sudden it was the Walking Dead down in that cave. So I had to run. And doing this in VR doesn't feel that great, especially when you have motion sickness. So I got into a corner. I was like a scared, trapped animal backed into a corner, and I used the only block I had to stop them from getting to me, and that was all the iron I had just mined. I had like 1 heart left or something. I was super low. Look at my hands. Look how much they're shaking. You can see it in VR. I was sweating. I was a very scared man at this point. Anyways, I killed them. I activated big brain mode and I killed them one by one and I got out of that hole and things were all right. Between days 7 and 9, I explored more and I finally found somewhere where I was going to build my house. So you know what? I worked away in the hot sun, cutting down trees and building my home. Good old hard labor, you know? Days 10 to 13. Yeah, you know what? More housework. I built the house up and I started a little farm by a river. Problem was that I didn't really know how farming worked in Minecraft, or real life apparently. But by the end of day 13, I was able to finally sleep in my newly built house. And my man, you know what? It felt pretty good. I'm not gonna lie about that. It was a good experience there. I was feeling pretty good. On the 14th day, I went out and I got back to work cutting down more trees. I did a lot of this, quite a bit of cutting down trees. I explored more and I asked Sonia yet again if I looked cool, and she still did not think so. She was still very unhappy about how much time I was spending in VR.
I hope that you get tired of this.
You hope that I get tired of this?
Yeah.
How could I ever get tired of it when I'm seeing beautiful? Look at this. Look at that big volcano in front of me.
I don't see the benefit of doing this in 3D virtual reality or just doing it on the computer.
You don't see the benefit? If you were me right now, you would see this beautiful sheep in front of me.
I can see them on the screen.
Yeah, well guess what? I feel like the sheep is in front of me right now. Look at this guy. Hey, your name is Moo Moo.
Day 15. To be honest, I have no idea what happened on day 15. I know that some bad boys showed up at my house and I took care of them. The next day, I collected some more useless crap that I would never end up needing, and I built a relaxing campfire, because who doesn't love one of these things? You know, just a man relaxing next to a campfire. Pretty good. But my relaxation didn't last very long, because on day the 17th, why did I write like that? These assholes walked through my valley, okay? I've never experienced raiders before. I've only seen them in other people's videos, and to be honest, they were one of the things that I was most afraid of before doing this, because I don't know what I see. They have crossbows, okay? That's the only thing I see about them, that they carry crossbows. And, you know, not too interested in that. So when I saw them walking through my valley, I was happy that they didn't come up to my house. But I knew in the future, if they did, I would need some sort of plan. So I built this. It was like an escape tunnel. Like if they came to my door and I couldn't figure out how to get out of my house, I would jump into this escape tunnel and get out that way. That was my plan. Although some more, you know what? People were just showing up at my house. This guy. Huh? He was carrying 2 llamas. He showed up at my house and he was trying to trade me some crap. Like, who would want that? Who needs this stuff? I accidentally like cut one of his llamas with my sword because I forgot I was in VR, and if you swing, you'll just hit anything. So the llama freaked out and started spitting on me, which is, hey, that was good.
Okay, he's spitting on me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to attack you. Okay.
This guy didn't leave my house. This guy stood here for like 5 days. He would just, him and his disgusting llamas. Every morning I would wake up to horking and just brutal sounds. He was a very persistent salesman, but you know what? It's fine. It's okay. On day 20, I finally built a farm in front of my house, and it was nice. You know, it was like, look at this, it was a nice little farm. So there I was, farming away, tending to my crops in VR, and again, I asked Sonia, hey, how about now? Look at this. You like farming? Look at me. I'm farming in VR. Who wouldn't like this? And she did not like it. Okay, she did not like this either. You know what I'm doing now?
What?
I'm making a little garden and farming.
That's nice.
You like that?
No.
Why?
Because you could be gardening in real life.
Look outside.
I know you can. I'm just saying, like, generally speaking, you could be doing things like this in real life.
Every good farmer needs some chickens, so I trapped a couple of them in a hole, or a pit, for safekeeping. And yeah, just look at these guys. Look at them. Hey, you guys are making eggs, thanks. Day 22, things got dark when I nearly died yet again after exploring a little bit too much of the new chasm I found by my house. There was like an abandoned mine system down there, and I didn't really know what to expect. I pushed my luck a little bit too far, and I started getting shot by a skeleton. So I tried to escape, and when I was sliding on up my little water ladder I had made, I got shot yet again, almost knocked out of the water ladder, and left with like half a heart. So you wouldn't guess what I did. I ran into a dirt hole and waited for the sun to rise again, an entire night in a dirt hole. So after spending yet another night in a dirt hole, I decided to leave the hole and go and look for a village, because at this point I was feeling like I was the only man in the world besides the traveling llama salesman. I wanted to find a village because apparently you can trade with villagers and do all sorts of stuff that was of big interest to me. I mean, it was like, what day was it? We were on day like 23 and I still didn't have diamonds. So yeah, I headed out to look for a village. I walked for an entire day across fields, rivers, through mountains. I got spit on by another llama. And you know what? I found nothing. Absolutely nothing. Worse, it was nighttime, and so I had to spend a second night in another dirt hole. I forgot to bring a bed with me, so I figured instead of just standing there for like 15 minutes or however long nighttime is, I would mine. I would spend my time wisely. So I started to mine in that dirt hole, and I dug all the way down to bedrock, and I found nothing except for redstone, which is for mega brains, and that I am not. Day 24, my man, let me tell you, what a day this was. So I climbed out of the dirty hole and I headed home. However, on my way, I found that I'm the biggest idiot of all time, because when I dug through that mountain, I was actually walking. There was a village on top and beside of the mountain. If I wasn't lazy, I would have seen the village, I would have gone around the mountain, and I would have been, boom, would have found all these wonderful people. And better yet than finding a village, I also was able to tame a wolf, and I named this man Larry. Yeah, Larry. Your name is Larry. Let me tell you about my man Larry. He's no gonzo, but you know, he's a pretty good guy, okay? He's got a pure heart, and I love this man. Or rather, I loved this man. Hey, and another good thing about this village is that I walked into one of these prickly bushes and my stupid leather chest piece of binding finally broke, which meant I could officially become a man with iron. An Iron Man, if you will. On day 25, I returned home, and at this point, I really wanted some diamonds, okay? I didn't have diamonds yet, and I was starting to feel a tad bit rushed to get them. So I made a mine shaft in front of my house, and I dug down. But then I found out that abandoned mine system that I found before actually extended all the way under my house. So I started to explore that a little bit more, and I got to work killing some idiots down there, and it was, you know, it was pretty good. Oh, you got carrying around a block, are ya? You got gold armor too. Yeah, just keep walking here. Here. The next day, I went back to that village, but on my way, I set up some bridges to help make the journey a bit easier. Although making them was a little bit, it was a little bit off-putting at some points. Yep, just hanging over a river here. Oh! It took an entire day, so I slept as soon as I got to the village. The next morning, on the 27th, I spoke to a humble farmer who was interested in wheat. Knowing I could level this man up and potentially get those sweet diamonds, I decided I was going to farm the out of wheat back at my place. So I went home and I made a big, massive farm. Well, you know what happened? At nighttime, I was trying to get things going, and look at these guys. Look at these guys who just spawned in here. The next morning, I woke up, I walked outside, and I began killing those spiders. There was absolutely no way I was letting these walk around in my garden with their creepy spider legs stomping on all my crops and trying to kill me. Hell no. So I killed them, and I spent the day gardening. It was quite nice. I guess farming. I'm just a farmer, farming my crops. Look at me putting that headset on. I had absolutely no idea that this was going to be the final time I wore it for this playthrough. I thought, you know what, it's just gonna be a regular play session. Hell yeah, put the headset on and get to work. Absolutely no idea that day 29 was going to be my third final day alive. You know what, I probably wouldn't have spent it mining. I probably would not have dug straight down to bedrock looking for diamonds. I probably should have spent some time with my good man Larry, or exploring a little bit. But instead, I used my time looking for wealth. And when I emerged from my mine, I was chased by creepers and zombies. And you know what? These guys actually almost killed me. At one point, I fell into a hole and the creeper exploded on me. And while that was happening, I completely thought that I was going to die. At that moment, I had 100% accepted my death. But I didn't. I didn't die. I survived, and I think that was the issue, because at that moment, I felt invincible. I felt like I had a purpose and that I wasn't going to be stricken down by any mob. I thought that I was alive for a reason. So I went to bed that night with my mind riddled with delusions. That was close. I spent my second last day farming. There was nothing special about it. I planted my crops, added water, and I was excited about the prospect of having a bountiful farm. I know now that it was all for nothing, but at that time, I was hopeful for the future. So I gathered some supplies, and I left my house for what would be the last time. By the time I reached the village, it was nighttime, so when I got there, I went to bed. I woke up on the morning of day 30, not knowing that it would be my final day. I stepped outside of the house and I began looking for the farmer. I checked all over the village. I looked in every house. I looked in the fields. I looked in the forest nearby. I rang the bell. I did not everything I could, but I could not find the farmer. I found the fisherman. He was in like a pit near the house. So I thought, you know what, maybe the farmer is in the nearby cave that's connected to the village. Yeah, the guy might be in there. Why don't I go look at that? So I walked up to the cave, walked into it, and I heard a zombie. I thought, hey, you know what, one zombie, who cares about that? So I turned around, walked away, and then when I turned back to face the cave, it turns out there was a zombie and a creeper. I think you know how this ends. So yeah, it turns out I actually did this on survival. Although, while I was playing and throughout the entire duration, I thought I was on hardcore. It wasn't until I died that I found out that I was actually playing survival. And I know I could technically continue, but no, come on. This was hard. This was like a month. It took me almost a month to do this. I know I only survived 31 days, but I can only play for about an hour before I get motion sick. Hey, okay, there it is. A tale of disappointment and depression. But you know what? You know what? I can do this. I can survive all 100 days. Because this time, I've got a plan, okay? I have a foolproof plan that will guarantee that I survive 100 days in hardcore VR Minecraft. I can do it. And I will survive the 100 days. Also, if you got any tips for me on how to do this, it'd be very greatly appreciated, because I feel like I'm a bit out of my element here. This is quite the undertaking. So any bits of advice, any tips, anything like that would be very beneficial. I hope for some help. Please, I need help.